Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. So I'm building out this SMS campaign workflow within Go High Level right now to be able to start sending out some SMS campaigns to businesses, and all of the numbers came from the last video, which was scraped from Google Maps. Now the issue is that you won't know if it's a landline or if it's a cell number, and as a result of that, you're going to get increased error rates. And if you look at Go High Level's standards, if you go above 12.5%, you get your account restricted, and anything over 8 you receive a violation email. So obviously we want to keep it below that. And so I was looking at potential ways to solve this issue, and what I found was the Twilio Lookup API. So they have something called line type intelligence, and this will allow you to just easily check pretty much instantly if this number is a landline or a cell phone. So I can just click verify on all these, and you'll see in a second it's going to populate with the carrier or the landline. Right here, boom, you can see that, hey, this one right here is AT&T, it's mobile, and this one down here that I verified is a landline. So then you can easily filter by the ones that are only mobile, and then right away you know that your deliverability rate won't have any issues in terms of delivering. So just a quick little tip, and today we're gonna be building out that workflow. So you can see I already have it set here. It's set to live. It's really simple. It's only 5 steps. So first it watches responses, which is watching for that check mark, and then once that is checked, I have a little sleep timer here, which is on a delay. It grabs that record, so not to send too many requests at once to the Twilio Lookup API. So it gets that record, and then it makes that request to Twilio Lookup API, which we're going to build very shortly, and then it updates the record in Airtable. If you didn't watch my last video, I built this Google Maps lead scraper where you would just put in the search term, the location, the amount of leads that you want to scrape, and then you hit ready to go, and then it populates them into a table like this that's organized by location. You would essentially just come into here into automations, and I have this automation. It's called landline or SMS. This is built out in Airtable. And so right now I have the trigger being when a record matches conditions. So when verify is checked, I'm running a script, and that script is saying await fetch this webhook. So in our first step here, we want to set up that webhook. So you just go ahead, you'd add a watch responses Airtable webhook. We're going to copy that address to clipboard, hop back into here. We can paste that webhook in right here. And then you're going to have the record ID, and the action that I said is SMS. You don't really need that portion though, but if you did want to build it out further in the future, it's always nice to have. And then you want to set your input variable record ID, with the value being the Airtable record ID. I'm going to hit finish editing, and that's done, right? Very simple setup. You'll be able to get data through this, and if you wanted to quickly test it out, you could just unlink this right here, right? So if I unlink this and I had this set up and I came back into here, I could click here, I could choose a record, right? So choose whichever one. I'm going to choose, let's say, honestly, it doesn't really matter. It's just to show that this works. So I choose the first record, and then I would test the action. That would test, and then in a second you'll see that this populated successfully. We have the record ID and the action. All right, so now you just toss in a basic sleep timer. I have the delay set to 1 second, and then we are going to get that Airtable record. So you would just make your Airtable connection, and that's very simple to do. You just hit add, and then connection type would be Airtable token or key. And then in your in your Airtable, you would come into the Builder Hub, and then in the Builder Hub, you'll have personal access tokens. You could just create a new token. This is mine, right? And you can see I just went ahead, added all the scopes possible. So here are all the different scopes. You just add them all in until there's none left. And then you give it access to your base, which can also be set to all workspaces. And that's pretty much it. Then you will paste in your personal access token right here. Just hit save, and after you have that, you'll have your connection created. And then I just went ahead, connected it to my Airtable base, to the Google table right here, the Google table. And then I'm just grabbing the record ID from the first step. So now you have those 3 steps done. Then I would run it once again so that you get some data populated in here like this. And then from there, you are going to do your HTTP request to Twilio Lookup API. So this is the most important step. So you're going to do an HTTP request, and then this is the URL that you want to do. So where this came from is if you go to Twilio in the line type intelligence, right? If you search Twilio API, Lookup API, you click on line type intelligence, you end up somewhere here, and then you have this URL. So I just copy that URL, and you can see here you got your phone number. So that's the dynamic variable that we're going to be passing. So you'd come back into here, you'd paste that in, and then I have that dynamic variable here, which is right here, and that's what we're passing. Now it is important that you note the format, because this is the specific format that we need, right? The plus, then the area code, and then the phone number. And the reason for that is that's just the format that is required by Twilio. So you'd paste in that URL, and then we'd come back here. We're like, okay, what's the next step? Well, it's get. We need to get that information, right? It's not a post, we're getting that information. So we get that information, and then you'll see that there's a header that we need to pass. And so then for this, you're going to have to pass one header. It's going to be, the name is going to be authorization, the value is going to be basic, and then you're going to paste in your API key right here, and that is going to be coming from Twilio directly. So I've already gone ahead, I've done that. You're also going to want to make sure parse response is checked. If you come into your Twilio console, you're going to have account info right here. So if we expand this right now, right, we're going to get our account SID and our authorization token. And the way that this is set up is we need to combine both of them together and then encode it to a base 64 format, because that's just the format that Twilio understands this. So what we would do is come into our console, expand it, and then we'll grab our account SID. So we'll grab that account SID, right? And we're going to put it like this. So that'll become our account SID. And then you'll put this in the middle, and then you'll put your Twilio authorization token. And I'm using this site, it's called base64encode.org. Paste them both into here, and then you'll hit encode, and you'll end up with some super long string of characters. You're going to go ahead, you're going to copy that string of characters, head back into your make setup, and then next to basic, you will paste in that value right here. And then we hit OK. And then lastly, we want to update our Airtable record. So record ID is once again the first record ID. And then the only fields that I'm updating are the landline cell field, which you'll see right here under data, line type intelligence type. So this will specify what type it is. So in this case, it's mobile. And then the carrier is the carrier name. And the rest I leave blank and save. And if we turn that on and go back and test it, you'll see that it now runs through, it makes the request, and it processes it, comes back as either a landline, fixed VoIP, non-fixed VoIP, mobile, or a toll-free. So this will just increase your deliverability rates, save you a bit of money, and it's a really quick solution. So I hope you got value out of this, and if you did, consider dropping a subscribe. It's free, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.